Y'all have a good afternoon. Bye-bye. It's so nice meeting you guys. Whew. It's been a hot minute. Let's talk. And yes, I'm wearing pants. Okay.
Blue dude, blue moon, kinda mysterious, shaded with someone I'm not really into. Do you need to fix it? Talking bullshit. It's hard to see you when your eyes look dull. Who's gonna save you? Who's gonna make you not blue? Not blue. Blue dude, that blue, sort of witty and jaded, but let's not talk about you.
Oh yeah, hi Tanner.
Your coyote song on a rerun.
What in the world are you doing?
Are you hound dog tired singing all night long? Who's gonna save you? Who's gonna make you not blue?
That's really cool.
Not blue.
That's really cool. Hit it straight through there.
Blue dude, blue moon, been one or two since I ran into you. Do you need a picture?
Yo,
What's up?
what's up, buddy? We're at the course.
How are you?
Playing some pickle. Good. How are you?
Dude, not bad. Tired. I see you're enjoying fourth year also.
It's the best year of all time. You have time to do everything you love, and I'm on vacation mode.
Aren't you still on rotations though?
Yeah, but it's different. You know, it's like you get to go home and not worry about anything else. No boards, no studying, shelf exams. You're not applying. We're chilling.
Fourth year rotations are so much better than third year, right? I mean, I'm done, so I can't really say anything. So, like, I'm about as tired as you can get as far as like fourth year goes. But you seem to be enjoying it.
I love it. I mean, like you said, you're still on rotations during fourth year, but it's different than third year. During third year, you're grinding, you're trying to get those evals, you're studying, you're doing practice questions, you have shelf exams coming up, you still have to do all your research, everything. Like, it's a lot of pressure. But in fourth year, you can focus on what's in front of you, and when you get home, you can unwind and do whatever you want.
You're learning to learn. You're not learning to impress really anybody but yourself.
Exactly. I'm doing elective rotations that I don't need evals for. I don't need letters of recommendation from. I can do what I enjoy, focus on learning what I want to learn, and the pressure is just so much lower.
And do you think like attendings have a bigger trust in you? You know, there's an inherent trust like, okay, you're a fourth year, I don't have to baby you. And I mean, for me, especially at Texas Children's, when I did my away there, like, technically, yes, it was a pediatric anesthesia rotation, right?
Yeah.
but it was after ERAS was submitted, so I wasn't really there to impress to get a letter, and I felt like I was doing things because I wanted to, and all the attendings, compared to my third year anesthesia rotation, instead of going like, okay, fine, we'll let you get one go at it, and then like we'll hip check you out of the way because we don't need this person desatting. It's like, no, I trust you, you got it. And I don't know how it was for you. Like, I remember getting there and being prepared for all the scut work, right? Like, because you're so used to it as a third year. And like, I was like, hey, I can go run that ABG to the lab real quick, or I can go grab that new medication. And they were like, no, we got people for that. You're here to learn. I'm like, wait, really?
Such a different experience. Yeah, absolutely. I just finished an anesthesia rotation not that long ago, and it was definitely different from, earlier last year. Like, even if I wasn't totally, like, sure, like, on the procedure I was doing, I was, like, talking through it out loud, and the attending trusted me a lot more than my first ever anesthesia rotation, or even the rotation I'm on right now. They trust me to just go in the room, do everything. They know my notes are going to be just fine because I've had a whole year of practice leading up to this. All the procedures I'm doing in the clinic, I've done a bunch of times before. It's definitely a different level of autonomy and trust that you have, for sure.
Yeah. You feeling like a doctor yet, or close to it?
I think it's going to hit us in July when we're like, oh, I have to put the order in. I have to make that decision. I'm getting the phone calls from the floor asking if the patient could have this. I think that's when it's going to hit us. I still kind of feel like a student right now, but I'm ready to not be.
That's a good way of putting it. It feels like the chapter's not over, but we're on the last couple pages.
Exactly. Ready to move on to the next part. I am confident in moving to the next part. Not that I'm not necessarily ready. I don't think we're always going to feel perfectly ready, but I think we're ready to embrace it, I guess is the better way to put it.
I couldn't have said it better, man. And dude, I hope your interviews, all your application stuff are going well. I know you're killing it.
Yeah, you too. You're done with interviews now?
Just finished up my last one yesterday.
Yo, congrats. Now we wait. We wait to see what March brings.
Oh, the anxious waiting, man. That's what nobody tells you about fourth year. Like, there's the pickleball, the soccer, the golf, the concerts, the traveling. But, like, yes, it's enjoyment. But the other half of it is distraction.
I agree. But you know what? In a way, as of right now, the relief outweighs the anxiety in the sense that it's so nice to be able to kind of relax a bit, kind of pull back in and reflect, and not be, like we said earlier, spending every second of every day trying to impress someone. Now it's kind of up to fate in a way, if, fate being the algorithm of the match. But
I mean, this is how rotations were supposed to be. That's how it's designed, right? You show up and you learn from everybody around you. You learn from your patients, and you take really the hospital politics out of it, and you're there to be the best physician in training you can be, and that really is the beauty of fourth year. And I wish there was a way that you could have that same feeling in third year, because you're living through it right now. It's great, isn't it?
It's amazing. This is what we've worked hard for. So,
dude, well, I won't keep you too long. Enjoy the pickleball. Say hi to everybody for me.
Will do, buddy. Hopefully we'll see each other soon.
Dude, hey, New York Restaurant Week?
Hey, we'll talk more about it.
Right, man. Good talking to you, man. See ya.
You too. Later, buddy.
Yeah, so this is the setup here. Now, this is the part where for the incoming third-year medical students, or even the ones who are in the straight-up trenches of clinical rotations right now, I want to speak directly to you. This is the advice I will give you in two parts. First is primarily for the student, and the second is for the student, but also for those in the students' lives and our lives who are supporting us at home when we come home from the hospital. The first is about how to achieve and really to earn your stripes as a clinical student. My best word of advice is learn efficiently and learn how you learn best, not how other people are doing it and are learning best, because you just straight up do not have time for trial and error in this period. Use methods like visual spatial recognition, something that tools like Sketchy, the sponsor of today's video, have very effectively hammered down. Yes, you're watching cartoons, but quite literally it is the reason why myself and so many of my fellow medical students are able to still to this day pick up forgotten medications just like that. It helped me absolutely crush step 1 and step 2, and I very much plan on using them to refresh my brain before I start my intern year, because it really is just that good and it is that efficient. I know it's not the popular choice, but use Anki because you can study at any time during the day, especially when you're on the wards, and it's just quick quizzes here, there, and believe me, combined with tools like Sketchy, there's so many questions on my boards that I got right, and questions and pimp questions I got on rounds that I got right because of the constant learning that I was doing. I've hammered this home before. Use practice questions, because that is how you wrap up all these topics in the shortest amount of time in a way that you will not forget it. Bottom line is, use a method that gives you defined goals but gives you flexible ways to achieve said goals. So set numbers, but get there eventually. Say there's 300 cards in the neurology Anki deck, just split that up by the amount of days in your rotation. Work at it like that. Same thing with the amount of practice questions that are assigned to each rotation. But know that some days you're gonna come home and it's a rough day, and that's okay. You're not gonna feel like hitting that daily number, and that's what I mean by set that end goal, but give yourself that flexibility to do some one day when you're feeling awful, or maybe none that day, and then give yourself the opportunity to have a better day and absolutely be a rock star and do all the questions, watch all the videos. But the biggest thing is to have that set goal so you're not just studying without direction. Of course, learn from your patients, really pay attention, take notes, keep a little notebook with you. I always had this to jot down all the notes from these mini lectures that attendings residents would give, and also to write down topics to look up on when you come home. But that's enough about the book side of this part of medical school, because there's 10 bajillion videos on that. Please, fresh third years, even if you're in the middle of it, and families, friends, supporters of those third year students, please listen to me right now. This is what I'm gonna leave you with, because it's something that I don't think I could have effectively told or expressed at the end of my third year. I had to get all the way to my fourth year and get through all my rotations to really realize that the golden rule to getting through clinical rotations in medical school is knowing what is your fault and what is not your fault. Let me say that again. Know what is your fault and what is not your fault. That right there will be the driving force to determining whether you need to give yourself some grace or you need to work a little bit harder on that academic end, because that line is blurry, let me tell you. As you go throughout your rotations, you will be thrown to a different team every 2 to 3 weeks, sometimes every 2 to 3 days, each with new personalities and varying degrees of intensity. There are systemic issues surrounding medical education that are commonly known but rarely addressed. Brutal hierarchies that plague programs that make it a complete sin to ask the attending a question without running it up the chain of resident command. Complete variance in teaching depending on how much the student is a priority in the resident or attending's life. Variance in student autonomy, which diminishes both confidence and empowerment in student decision making. Something that is so crucial to medical education. Variance in mentorship, lack of trust in students, lack of expectations for students, unclear communication from hospital administration. These are all things that you just get used to. And for the friends, family, and support in these students' lives whose response is always just, it'll get better.
I hated every time someone had said that to me, because it just didn't help, because it doesn't get better. I will fight this until I am blue in the face, but it doesn't get better. It gets more tolerable. You can start adapting better and you can tolerate more. It's not the training that gets better, because that's a systemic issue. And unless that changes, then we can say, oh, it gets better. But other than that, no. It's all coming from within for you to be able to tolerate the kind of stuff that we do.
Yeah, these inherent road bumps in the training process, I'm afraid to say that doesn't change. And it's something that I wanted to change and I was hoping would change at every step of the way, but now I know what you're thinking. That is a complete black cloud. But here's a silver lining. That statement in itself should be the most freeing thing that you learn on clinical rotations. We are trained by constant subjective evaluation to take extreme ownership of our shortcomings and mistakes. But there are some parts of the process that are just straight up not our fault. They're not your fault. So as cliche as it sounds, focus on the things that you do have control over, such as your case preparation, your punctuality with your team, your communication with your patients, and the rest will take care of itself, believe it or not. If you are lucky, you will succeed because of the system, but most will succeed in spite of the system. And those people that succeed are going to be the ones to change said system. Just because it's always been like that doesn't mean it has to stay like that. Being content is just an egotistic slap in the face to progress. And progress is made with just intentional decisions by each resident, senior, attending, and administrator to really take ownership of this student's growth, this future doctor's growth. To the third years and fourth years, you will be an amazing doctor. And these experiences are the reasons why we as attendings and even residents will take the utmost care of those learning from us and with us when we're in those positions. To the attendings and residents who have remembered us as students and have chosen to nurture instead of neglect, you will not understand the quite literal millions of patients that you would have indirectly treated by your care in our education. And to all following this journey, I hope these videos do and will continue to give you a better insight on how to care for the healthcare worker in your life, whether they're in training or currently working. So this is a very intense field, and as you can tell, there's a lot of stories and a lot of learning done and to be done, myself included. Thank you all, Happy New Year, and I'll see you in the next video.